Hello, this is Dr. Upinder Kaur. Welcome to Physio Lecture. In previous lecture, we will study about the sternoclavicular joint, and we also studied about the basics of sternoclavicular joint and the sternoclavicular joint disc. But today, we are going to discuss about sternoclavicular joint capsule and ligaments. As I taught earlier that in sternoclavicular joint, there are three basic ligaments. One is sternoclavicular ligament, anterior and posterior. Second one is costoclavicular ligament. As the name suggests that this ligament is present between the costal means first rib and the clavicle. So it is known as costoclavicular ligament. And the third one is the ligament which is present between the two clavicles is known as interclavicular ligament. So first of all, the sternoclavicular joint is surrounded by fairly strong capsule but depend upon the three ligament complex. The first one is sternoclavicular ligament. It has two parts, that is anterior and posterior. Now, as for example, take this as a clavicle and take my hand as a sternum. So the joint is formed between the sternum and clavicle. So in this ligament is present at anterior part, that is anterior sternoclavicular ligament, and the ligament which is present at the posterior part of the joint is known as posterior sternoclavicular ligament. Now this it reinforces the capsule and function primarily to check the anterior and posterior translatory motion of the medial end of clavicle. So the basic function of this is that to limit the anterior translation of clavicle and posterior translatory motion of medial end of clavicle. Next ligament is costoclavicular ligament. It has two lamina, anterior and posterior. First of all, the costoclavicular ligament is present between the first rib and the clavicle, and this ligament is very strong. It has two laminae, anterior lamina and posterior lamina. First of all, we will see about anterior lamina. Anterior lamina has fibers that direct laterally from the first rib to the clavicle. So this is first rib and this is clavicle. So anterior lamina has fibers that run laterally from the first rib to the clavicle. So the fibers which are in green color and runs laterally from first rib to the clavicle is known as anterior lamina. While in posterior lamina, the fibers are directed medially and it runs from first rib to the clavicle in medial direction. The fibers which are shown in red color are the fibers of posterior lamina. Now we will see about the functions of costoclavicular ligament. First function is both lamina limit the elevation of lateral end of clavicle, as the elevation of lateral end of clavicle is limited by both these lamina. Second function is that when thought may contribute inferior gliding of the medial clavicle on manubrium that occurs with the clavicular elevation. So when the clavicular elevation happens, then both the ligaments become taut completely. So to loosen them, they cause the inferior gliding of the medial end of the clavicle. So this is given in this point. Next point is that the posterior lamina will resist medial movement of clavicle, absorbing some of the force that would otherwise imposed on the sternoclavicular disc. So here the importance of posterior lamina is given, that it will resist the medial movement of clavicle, because all the force come from the lateral end of the clavicle. Some of the force is also absorbed by the posterior lamina, so that all force will not go past to the sternoclavicular disc. Next point is it also limits the superior direction forces applied to chemical by the clavicle by the sternocleidomastoid and sternohyoid muscles. As we know that the sternocleidomastoid and sternohyoid, both the muscles are attached to the clavicle. So these ligaments prevent the superior directed forces applied by these muscles. Now we will learn about the interclavicular ligament. After sternoclavicular ligament and costoclavicular ligament, the third one is interclavicular ligament. As the name suggests, this ligament is present between the two clavicles. If these are the two clavicles, then this interclavicular ligament is present between the two clavicules. The function of interclavicular ligament is that it limits the excessive depression on the lateral end of clavicle and superior gliding on the medial clavicle on manubrium. So for example, take this pen as a clavicle and the cap site is lateral end of clavicle and this is medial end of clavicle. If excessive depression occur at the lateral end of clavicle, then the superior gliding occur on the medial end of the clavicle. So the interclavicular ligament prevents the superior gliding on the medial end of clavicle and excessive depression on the lateral end of clavicle. So both these functions are done by the interclavicular ligament. Basically, it prevents the excessive depression on the lateral end of clavicle and limits the excessive superior gliding on the medial end of the clavicle. Second one is that the limitation of interclavicular ligament is critical to protect the structures such as brachial plexus, subclavian artery, which pass under the clavicle and the first rib. And these limitations play a crucial role in preventing the injuries, various kind of injuries. As we know that the very important structures like the brachial plexus and subclavian arteries passes under the first rib and the clavicle. So if the excessive movement occurs, then there may be the chances that these structures may damage. So it limits the limitation of interclavicular ligament plays a critical role to protect these structures. So these are the basics about the sternoclavicular ligaments. And if you like my video, then please like video and also subscribe my channel. Thank you.